Hi, welcome to the She Moves Mountains podcast. This is your host, Kamala Murphy. Thanks for joining us today as we talk about some of the juicy stuff we women experience that makes this life journey truly amazing. You know, the nitty-gritty, the love, the loss, the falling down and rising up, the getting lost and finding our way again. To our hearts, our happiness, and to the awareness that we can and do move mountains. Thank you for joining. Hi, this is Kamala Murphy. Welcome to this episode of the She Moves Mountains podcast. Thank you for tuning in. This episode will be airing close to Mother's Day. And whether our mothers are still with us or not, or if we are mothers or not, Mother's Day probably has us reflecting on our relationships with our mothers. Because how we were mothered is really an essential component in shaping us, making us who we are. And I know that almost every woman that I know has some painful issue regarding her relationship with her mother. And that's not really surprising because most of us have what is called the mother wound, which has been passed down for generations. It's that pain and grief that start to build up in a young woman as she's trying to explore her potential, all that she is, and finds that society not only doesn't make room for it, but wants to shut it down and pretty much forces her back into the coping mechanisms that her mother had to use and her mother before that. It's a little bit like the crabs in the pot. When one tries to escape, the others drag it back down. So the experience of being magnificent, being all that you can be for a woman has been diminished, no longer able to be all that you could be, rather become good girls, well-behaved women who don't rock the boat or make waves. And for generations, how many women have put their dreams or talents or gifts away when they married or had children, instead becoming those dutiful wives and mothers, doing what was expected, demanded even. And it's only in the last couple of generations that women have actually really had a choice to do things differently. I know for me, I was angry with my mother for not being bolder, for not showing me how to be a stronger woman, for not standing up to some of the crap my father gave her. I was angry because for most of my life, my mother seemed like just a shell of a woman, almost like a cardboard cutout, someone who was there and cooked the food and did the shopping and ran the household, but provided nothing else of what I felt was the deeper substance. I know from family stories that when she was younger, she was kind of a bright light. But as a dutiful wife and mother, that light dimmed to really low but acceptable levels. It's really hard to admit, but I don't think I even really knew my mother. I knew her favorite color was blue. I knew her favorite number was 8, but I didn't know what really made her tick. And that brings up a lot of sadness for me. I didn't get to know who she really was. And that may be because she had to put who she really was, her fire, her passion, away. I know that she drank a lot, and maybe that was to keep those passions down, to keep the despair of no longer being free to be vibrant and vital, to keep that sadness down. In this podcast, I talk a lot about moving the mountains that we have in our lives. And I've talked a lot about many of my mountains being between my ears. And I've had the opportunities to move some of those mountains. I think for my mother and women of her generation, that wasn't really an option. They didn't have the support, most of them, to be able to live their lives more fully. So maybe recognizing that, I feel a lot more compassion for my mom. And I think that's part of the way that we get to heal the mother wound for ourselves and for the young women coming behind us. But maybe also as we heal and as we refuse to dim our lights, that we'll be able to heal the lineage, not only forwards, but also backwards. In the last year, I've been able to connect with, on a spiritual level, with my mom and her two sisters, their mother and their aunt. And they've formed for me a tribe, a group of elders that I call the O'Gara girls. And I see them as being free and loving life, that sort of wild Irish streak. And I feel that as I talk about flambe, feeling like $1,000,000, and recognizing that I'm working to heal my own wounds and feel more compassion for them, that the whole lineage is being healed with love and joy and a vibrance. I almost, when I talk about flambe nowadays, I can almost feel my mother being so happy, because it was her gift to me to be even talking about feeling like $1,000,000, because it was that memory of her being dressed up and happy, and alive. So in the spirit realm, these O'Gara girls are giving me high fives and encouragement to break the chains that they had to live by and that I do not need to. So I'm wondering, what does Mother's Day bring up for you? You may have healed or begun the healing process of healing the relationship with your mother. If so, that's so great. Today, I invite you to envision the lineage, not only healed, but filled with a joyous energy, a sense of the entire lineage of women feeling alive and vibrant and free and so magnificent, being able to share their gifts in the realm that they are, and allowing that to, the sense I have is that as they feel the release and the freedom, that they can channel that back to us today. Because I believe the more that we can let go of the bondage of the old beliefs and the old systems and allow ourselves to be freer, we really do heal that entire lineage. So if you can, for a moment, just see if you can feel that. See if you can feel the maternal line lit up. I hope you can. I'd like to offer a download of the I Feel Fabulous assessment and cheat sheet to get the juices flowing. When we feel fabulous, we exude that more joyful energy, and that in itself is so healing. So I will include the link to the I Feel Fabulous assessment and cheat sheet in the show notes. So as you listen to this and spend time over the weekend honoring the mother or the mother energy, the mother archetype, that you allow yourself the freedom to really feel magnificent, to honor the gifts that you have, not dimming them down, but flaunting them in some way, and allowing yourself to really enjoy the freedom that you're no longer needing to be a good girl or a well-behaved woman, but you get to be free and healed from this mother-daughter wound. So sending you all love and blessings. Have a great week. Until next time, take care. Bye for now. You've been listening to the She Moves Mountains podcast, coming to you every week. If you're a woman who wants to move mountains in your own life, please make sure to subscribe or follow this podcast. And if you've laughed or gotten teary or smiled knowingly, thinking, oh yeah, that's me too, please go ahead and rate the episode with 5 stars. It'll be a feel-good thing to do. Thanks a bunch. Lots of love and blessings to you. This is Kamala signing off. Until next week. Take care.